Welcome everybody. I hope you can hear me now the right way. Thank you for joining back for our next webinar. I'm pleased to give you all to Mark Abbas from the AMCS Group. He is going to talk a little bit more about infusing technology in the waste and recycling business model. So I'm very excited to hear what he got to tell about that. It was very funny because yesterday evening I got I was able to talk to Mark directly along with a few other people like John Shagarian from ERI, Nick Cliff from Innovate UK, and a few other speakers in a panel discussion. I can just recommend that to all of you to rewatch after that webinar. It was very interesting. We've been talking about innovations in the recycling industry in the next 10, 20, 50, 100 years. But for now, will start with Mark Abbas from AMCS and his presentation. Thank you all for being here. So I'm waiting for the sound from him.
Hello and welcome to this session at EREC, Infusing Technology in the Waste and Recycling Business Model. My name is Mark Abbas. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at the AMCS Group. And almost all of my professional career, I've been working in trash and tech. So that means that I've been advising companies how to leverage technology, how to implement IT and technology to drive improvements to their processes and to digitize their business. So the field I was operating in is the Netherlands, Germany, France, UK. Did a lot of work in the US and Australia. So I more or less have a global view of what's going on in this industry. And I'm now working for AMCS, the fastest growing company in software and technology specifically for this waste and recycling industry. So let's first, before we kick off and dive into this, into the technology itself, let's just do a snapshot of, which is actually a result of a survey that we did a little while ago, where we were kind of testing the state of digital transformation in the industry. And well, surprisingly or not, I think we saw a bit of changes from the last years, where we looked at the awareness, which is all about, how much are companies actually thinking about it? Are they aware? How important is it for them to digitize their business? And on the other hand, we looked at action. So that means how active are you as a company actually implementing new technologies? And what you can see here below is there's a big discrepancy in the awareness, which is clearly ranked from a 1 to 10. It's clearly there, varying from 7.3, 8.2, different angles looking at that, at the importance of technology. So the awareness is there and the importance is seen. But if you look at the right-hand side, and the ability to adapt new technologies is only scoring 5.7 out of 10, which means actually companies are still struggling with making the move, making the transition. So so one of the key things that I like to say about this is that more and more leading waste and recycling companies are fundamentally changing the way they do business by infusing technology into the business model to drive efficiency, to accelerate growth, and to build a first-class customer experience. So to be successful, companies do not only need to change the way what they do, but also need to rethink how they do it. And a strong technology foundation is critical. It's critical to long-term success. So at AMCS, we look at it as not just a single solution. We look at it holistically, and we call it the AMCS Platform that can hold a lot of technology that the waste and recycling industry can cover. And so if you look at how we build up that platform, right? Because it's crucial that you look at it in a holistic way. That's at least what we believe. I've been working with so many companies where they start to work on a single solution that did something really good, like it could optimize the routes, but it didn't really integrate in the rest of their landscape. So I think you should look at it holistically, and the way we look at it at AMCS is we look at it 4 layers. Okay, so we look at the technology layer all the way at the bottom on the left-hand side there. So this is the cloud that gives us access to all of this technology. Then you have a whole heap of solutions that are interconnected and technologies that you can leverage, but they're actually leveraging are actually leveraged by business processes. And I think this is so important that you take a process first approach when you look at automating your business and digitalizing your business. And then the 4th layer, I think, which is often underestimated, but is also to create that excellent user experience for your customers when they're interacting with you digitally in the digital space, but also for your own employees, your own staff. It is very, very important to have an excellent user experience. So let's start a little bit with diving into those business processes that you like to automate. Okay, so let's go on that journey. And this graph here shows you typical waste collection to waste processing, recycling, and to outbound activities from different types of waste companies, right? But let's take as an example. So if you take the business flows and you look at customer management, so how you manage your customers, how you interact with your clients online, for instance, there's enough businesses out there that have a great portal where you can interact, but it's not fully connected with the operation. So it will not have the latest information of where trucks are and where at what time they will arrive and all that kind of information that is so important, I think, for customers on this side. So we try to cover all of these business processes from customer management to what we call container management, which is all about, managing all your assets, managing all your bins, knowing what size they are and what they can capture and stuff like that. Managing your complete inbound logistics. Okay, so inbound logistics, what we mean by that is all the logistics that are happening. So this is about assigning the orders to the trucks, taking real-time information from the trucks, from weighing systems on the trucks, from RFID tags, tag readers on the trucks. All of that is how you manage your fleet, how you drive your routes efficiently, and particularly in this space, it can be very complicated because if you're in municipal or residential waste, your logistic challenges are completely different when you do door-to-door collections than you would do, for instance, when you do underground containers based on fill level data and predicting when their bin is going to be full. And then if you're more in the construction and demolition waste space, it's way more interactive and there's way more dynamics during the day and stuff happening. So depending also what lines of business you service, those requirements get more complex. But the benefits are also very evident, right? So integrating this into single systems that can actually talk to each other and leverage technology is, I believe, really is essential. I've seen many projects fail because of poor integration of the different technologies. Now, if you go further down in the process and you go to the recycling process, right? So there's a lot of recycling people, representatives from recycling businesses there. So there you typically have problems that you need to solve around, am I actually making money? What's the value? So inventory management is important, but also inbound grading of your goods. You have to have the right quality in order to send out the right paycheck or invoice to your customers, right? So those are typical things as well, but they are all connected to each other because somehow when you collect that waste yourself or that recycling material yourself, you want to blend that into the price, and this can get very, very complex in this industry. So again, important to look at that holistically. And then, of course, and specifically with the movement to the circular economy, from the linear to circular economy, you see an increased activity there on outbound logistics and making sure that supply and demand are actually matched. And you look at inventory. So you look at, I need, tomorrow I need to have in my production process this quality of raw material and this quantity. And then And then you as a recycler or a logistics company have to source that material, process it, and so on to get it out in time. And that's also getting very complex, okay? And all the way through your financial process, making sure that every transaction that you do is being invoiced. Every invoice is getting paid properly on time. You're managing your cash and all of that stuff. And you get insights in customers who are not paying well or poorly paying, right? So those are the business processes that we typically automate with one single system, one single platform. Also, because many companies don't just do one line of business. They're never in just commercial waste, but they also do a bit of construction waste, and sometimes they do portable sanitation. Sometimes you have municipalities doing a bit of commercial and industrial waste. So, you know, having that single system that supports all these business processes, we believe could be a big changer, a game changer for your company. Okay, so that's the business process layer. Okay, so now, but let's go back a few steps there. Let's go back a few steps and look at the technology stack. And I think it's important for everyone on this call to understand why the technology layer is so important. Okay, so we've decided to enter a global partnership with Microsoft Azure. Okay, so, and the reason we did that is because as a software company, we were not able to keep up with the pace of change of all these technologies. Okay, and Azure, what Azure brings us is a complete cloud infrastructure that for our customers, anyone's running this has got a no worry, be happy if you like infrastructure. So it's just there, and it sizes automatically when your business grows. It is rock solid. It is very secure. It's more secure probably than you could establish working, having your software in your on-premises, because these guys are completely dedicated to making this a robust system and a platform for our users. So this is all being compliant with all your regulation. You have analytics, and all of that stuff is out of the box, so that you can leverage that immediately when you move to the cloud. Another great example for moving to the cloud, or actually an incremental benefit, is of course that when you're on the cloud, you're faster to adopt changes. Okay, so when there's something new, you instantly can have it in your business, right? Whenever it's released, you don't need to go through a long, let's say, on-premise process to install and to upgrade your servers and all of that stuff. So that's a very big pro. Now, the biggest advantage we're seeing with this partnership with Microsoft we have is that we also get access to other cool technologies which would normally not be accessible for us, let's say, or at least not as fast as it is now. And this is, for instance, IoT technologies. So Microsoft's machine learning engine. So we can leverage that when we build this industry-specific platform. We built this to consume data from bin sensors, as you can see over here, from weigh bridges with constant weigh data, with GPS information coming from the truck, with filling grade data coming from underground containers, with RFID data. There's so much data being generated in this business nowadays, and consuming all that and analyzing it and take decisions. We could never do that with a proper technology stack. So that's a great foundation, I think, for a platform and for software, for assessing your software vendor. Now, looking at the solution layer, okay, so this is where all the magic happens. This is where the capabilities are delivered to the business and feeding the business process. So for us, again, it's key that we were taking a very integrated approach. So all of this, what you see here in our system, is integrated. Okay, but you can start small and you can expand. You don't have to buy it all. You can start small by just doing one thing and then expand as you grow, or expand as you learn. So, but we assure, as a company, as AMCS, we assure that all these systems are staying connected, and they have to be. And that's probably the toughest job in the industry as we've seen it. Okay, so let's look at the solutions. Let's look at the key solutions. First of all, in the middle, the heart of everything is a rock solid enterprise management system. This is an ERP system that holds all your customer data, your supplier data, your waste data, your bin data, your pricing, your contracts, your all of your assets, your trucks. This is where most of the data is stored and is used in the system. So typically what we do here with customers, when they implement these kind of things and the most modern version of it, what you'll see is that they will increase revenue, because we will make sure that every single transaction that you carry out is actually being invoiced. Secondly, we make sure you get insight in the margins you make, right? So it's very important as well that you do that. Third is, of course, compliance, out-of-the-box compliance. So wherever you are in the country, so we've been working in 22 different countries. So we know the legislations around the world. We've implemented in the system, and we support that. So again, the being compliant, of course, is very important. And then this enterprise management system gets information from a lot of other solutions that we have in the platform. Okay, so for instance, once you have your contracts, we have what we call an intelligent optimization engine. Okay, and I think this is probably the coolest product we have in the portfolio, because this intelligent optimization is an engine that can provide algorithms that we did. Well, we built those algorithms over the past 15 years, I guess, specifically for this industry. We built these for door-to-door collection, so for household waste collection, making sure you drive most efficiently through this, through your neighborhoods, and never, do a street a second time, or never forget anywhere where you need to pick up waste. We do demand-based, which is more like underground containers. We do predictive analysis, so we predict when a container is going to be full, and you only pick it up when it's fully full. We do commercial waste route optimization. Commercial waste, being your regular fixed routes with incidental extra additional lifts, we support that and we optimize that for you. And we can even do things like time slotting in there, which means that based on the day of the collection, we can determine the price for the end user, or we can encourage your customer to change the date to make it more efficient for you to drive, because you get a better density. And then it all goes all the way to a fully dynamic route optimization, and that is for skip business or RoRo business, or construction and demolition business. Very dynamic business where trucks are driving around all the time. They can stack containers, they can carry full and empty bins, and they have to drive from one customer to the transfer station and then do another drop-offs and all of that. And every incident that happens along the day can be managed, like a truck breaks down or a new order coming in through your web portal, that kind of stuff. So our algorithms are specifically designed to cover all those challenges, and typically we see massive gains there. So 5 to 25% reduction in CO2 emissions. We see up to 15% less vehicles required to do the same work that you were used to do yesterday. And we also see like 25 to 75% decrease on time spent on planning and admin. So the span of control of your dispatchers will be way more, where they typically can do maybe, 20 trucks per dispatcher, per planner. Now you can probably go above 100 easily. So it also significantly improves your customer service and the visit accuracy as well. So that's key. It's one of the coolest, let's say, solutions we have on the platform, if you ask me. And now, so imagine you have these routes designed, and now the question is, of course, how do you get it out there? How do you instruct your drivers? How do I make sure that everyone's doing what they're expected to do? So the other solution we have is the mobile workforce solution. This is an in-cab solution that can so where you push your route information and your stops, and you can record actually in real time where you are and what you're doing and all of that stuff. So you can totally get rid of all the paperwork. You can you can increase your revenue because you're actually verifying service. Your proof of service, proving that you were actually there in a certain moment in time, is actually automated there. So you have a great ROI there, as we discovered within 6 months or so. I think we can already give you the return on investment with this. So a lot of stuff is done there automatically. One other specific thing that we can do: imagine you're a municipal waste collection driver, so you drive your routes all the time. You're an experienced driver, so you know how to drive, but how do you know an inexperienced driver? So when this driver gets sick and you need to have a temporary guy driving the route. So we build solutions that can do a turn-by-turn guidance through the route, through your local areas, through your city, not missing any bin, not missing any spots. And that's something, and we do that with, text to voice. We do based on GPS location. We do some voice commands like left side collection here, right side collection, bilateral collection here, or do a U-turn there and do reversing here, and all of that stuff is what you can actually have the onboard computer speak to your driver to drive more safely and more efficiently. That's mobile. So then from the mobile, we link this to vehicle technology. So what we do in vehicle technology typically is you can equip your trucks with all sorts of cameras, with GPS, but also with weighing systems as well for your bin weighs. And on all of that data is collected and then linked to the other to the rest of the data. So you can you can prove you picked up that bin. You can avoid those missed pickups, and you get also a physical representation of where your trucks are and what they're doing and all of that. So it's also a great technology, I think, that is out there for all of the industries, the different lines of businesses that we talked about before. So, and then I think the other solution that I want to talk about is what we call digital engagement. And digital engagement is actually it's a set of solutions, it's a toolbox of how you engage with your customers and maybe other suppliers, being like third-party haulers or somebody who's subcontracting work from you, right? So basically, there are three solutions in this. Okay, so there's one is a customer portal. So actually, if you want to build a web shop for your waste collection business, don't do that from scratch. Okay, don't do it. We've got components where you can be up and running in days, and you can build your web shop integrated with your ERP system, your billing system, your routing system, and your mobile system. So that's great tooling out of the box. So customers can request for pickups, they can send in a complaint, they can change their frequency, or they can change their contract, and they can they can upload their invoice or download their invoice. They can even pay their invoice digitally, because that's the second thing. So it's customer portal, and then it's digital payments. So they can pay online, safe, secure their invoices. So that's a massive win as well for customers in the commercial side that we see. So, and the third one is what we call subcontractor management. So if you're a company that is maybe fully outsourcing your business, so you're more like a broker, or if you're a larger company that has national accounts and you have different subcontractors, this solution on the digital engagement module gives you the capability of handing over jobs to your contractors, your subcontractors, and keeping track of all the information that he needs to gather and feed that back into your system so you can bill your customers efficiently, right? So it's an integrated way of handing out orders and getting data back from that truck, which is like, I did pick it up, and these are the weight tickets and all that information. So no more paperwork and exchange and all of that stuff. So pretty cool, pretty cool. And I told you the platform also has a built-in analytics capability. So imagine that you can analyze your business from your bins, your trucks, your staff, your portal, your web shop, everything, and you have one single way to go to view how that business is running. So that's what we have in our analytics module on the platform. So this is a fully BI tooling with data marts that access the data that is gathered in those processes and visualize it using dashboards and graphs and all of that, and interactive graphs as well. So, and the good thing is that we've created, with the experience we have, we created a number of standard stuff. So you don't start from scratch. You don't have to pay a lot of consulting. We bring you, if you move to this platform, we give you all of this stuff out of the box. Okay, and finally, I think also it's important, two things is coming soon, as you see here. It's a little bit of a joke because we're constantly innovating. So this is obviously not ready yet. It's something that we're thinking about, and it's a little hint there of what the next module could be. But I think that the whole idea from us is it's expandable, right? This this platform is easy to expand on. So we constantly innovate. We invest millions and millions every year in this platform, specifically for this industry. And whenever there's a new technology we think the business will benefit from, we build it on the platform and we integrate it in the rest of it. Okay. And last but not least, we totally understand that we also need connectivity on this platform, because this will never be the only thing you will have, although it can do a lot, but there's always third-party products that you want to plug in. So we have standard APIs, we have an API framework, and standard adapters to, for instance, like Salesforce, where you can integrate your sales process doing that in Salesforce, but then leverage all of your contracts and all your operational day-to-day operations in our platform. So those connectors are really powerful as well to support coexistence of the platform in a larger landscape. Okay. Now, to close it off, I think also often forgotten is the user experience. Okay, so we talked about that a little bit, but what we did, so we've taken the applications to the cloud and we built a superb and excellent user experience for users. Our users will really love it. Okay, so it's designed with the end user in mind, and for us that means we have any device anywhere. Okay, at any place. So it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter when you're on your laptop or your phone or your desktop or I don't know, your MacBook. You can access all of that stuff that you just saw on the platform through the browser in a really sophisticated interface. And that really makes a huge difference in terms of usability for your end users. And you can build that same experience for your end customers, right? So it's really cool to see those user interfaces. And if you have a chance to look at our booth, maybe you can get a glance at EREC. Okay, so I started off with saying that you don't only need to change what you do, but also how you do it. And I think this is also crucial, and I see that change. So it's not just about buying technology and it will work. You have to show leadership and culture. You have to create a culture of innovation and agility, because you need to change rapidly in this business. You also need to engage your employees. Your staff have to move with you, and you have to create this culture with your staff. You have to look at your value chain partners and trends. So what's going on outside my world? Where do I need to connect? What can I do to cooperate, to exchange information, or to get more data from value chain partners? Constantly keep an eye on new technologies. Of course, you have to do that, right? But I think a platform like ours allows you to quickly adopt new technologies in an integrated way. And then constantly also you have to understand your data and use that to take decisions. Okay, so that's the waste management digital transformation model that we created. We may be talking that at another session, but I just wanted to show this, that it's not just about technology, but it's also about the other elements of it. Okay, so the outcome that we realize with all this technology, with all this stuff that we're doing, it's I think there's so much. Each solution that I described, each process step, there's efficiency to be gained. So, but in general, we are making sure that all your revenue is being invoiced, and we're optimizing your margins using this technology. You have a massive opportunity to standardize your business process, particularly if you're acquiring companies or you still have this kind of regional structure where everybody's not really doing the same thing or in the same way. Systems like this can force you to standardize your processes, optimize the use of your staff, the use of your containers, the use of your trucks. Great driver there. And on the digitalization front, having that automated end-to-end digitalized process, that will definitely be a very much appreciated by your end customer, because they can benefit from that. They can do business with you online 24/7 and have that great user experience. And for you, it's a great platform to do more business and to drive upsell and all that kind of stuff. Also, you need to have this digital transformation working for yourself to be compliant with legal and fiscal regulations. And you have to think about the future and be agile and be scalable and don't worry about it. And this is what platforms like this provide. Okay, so with that, I think this is what I wanted to share with you. I'd like to thank you. If you want to learn more, about AMCS, please visit our digital booth at EREC, or you can drop me an email at mark.abbas@AMCS Group. Thank you again and have a great day.
Well, thank you all for being here. That was the presentation from Mark Abbas from AMCS. Thank you for being here, for listening, for tuning in. Then after that, we will go on with our next webinar at 1:15, again from Eggersmann, this time on English with Dr. Rolf Liebeneiner. He will talk a little bit about their biological waste treatment. I'm really happy to hear about that. And I would just like to thank you all for being a part of EREC. I'm just getting the newest numbers, and we have right now about 2,500 registrations for all the different webinars. And yeah, thank you. It's a lot of fun for us. It's really nice to have you here from all over the world. And yeah, I wish you a good afternoon and hope to see you again at 1:15 for our next webinar. Good day to you all.